Hi, hope everyone. My name is Mr. Fruit, and welcome back to the GG Over Easy podcast, episode 186. In today's episode, I update everybody on my jaw journey as I learn about next steps with orthodontist and braces, what we're doing there. Briefly talk about going to Orlando, GCX. Rob and I will be there if you guys want to see us on that Saturday.
We talk about my night in Denver, painting the night red.
Yes,
Go
sir.
Nuggets.
Nuggets finals game when they won. We were there. We had $10,000 seats? Question mark. And I didn't pay
I
that.
mean,
Ain't no
you're
way.
not wrong. We did have 10,000
Yeah.
seats.
So I kept telling my brother, I'm like, hey, thanks for the seats.
Yeah.
Which you'll learn about in Rob's adventures afterwards. While I laid in bed asleep. Some of the games announced recently, been a whole bunch with the Game Summerfest and developer reveals and console showcases, blah blah blah. Questions and answers, and much more in this episode. So be sure to stay tuned, and let's get into it.
I got a question for you. What's more American than a bald eagle? The 4th of July is almost here, and that means a couple of things: barbecue, pool parties, and last but not least, glizzies. We all love a good glizzy. And it just so happens that our sponsor today, Manscaped, are making sure that your glizzy gladiators across the nation are groomed for battle on America's birthday. From the sea to a shining sea, join over 8 million pube patriots worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer. 20% off and free shipping worldwide. Shipping with our code GG at manscaped.com. Talk about the American dream. My pubes be looking fresh AF. My glizzy is ready for some action. And it's all thanks to that Lawnmower 4.0, baby. You can call yourself an American without the Lawnmower 4.0? I don't think so. Take your freedom bells to the next level by going to manscaped.com and get 20% off with free shipping with the code GG. Get your independence back this Independence Day and unlock your confidence with Manscaped. One time I got in a car accident and I didn't really know what kind of steps to go through about I don't know, stuff with lawyers and stuff. Probably should have called Morgan and Morgan at some point during that. Going to court and all that and getting all that stuff involved is kind of scary. So we didn't even explore the option. If I went with Morgan and Morgan, I could have explored that option easily. Morgan and Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. They have over 100 offices nationwide and more than 800 lawyers. With over $15 billion recovered for clients, Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record. If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/GG or dial pound law, pound 529 from your cell phone. That's forthepeople.com/GG or pound law, pound 529 from your cell. This is a paid advertisement. Thank you, Morgan & Morgan, for sponsoring this podcast. One of my favorite things about getting a box of awesome from Bespoke Post, every month is how it sneaks up on you. You forget that it's coming, and then one day, boom, on your front door. The best box you'll open all month, filled with carefully chosen gear from the best small brands all over the world. Let's see what I got this month. Ooh, the Carnivore Box. American Barbecue Rub by the Great American Spice Company in Rockford, Michigan. Gonna have to throw some of this on the grill. No matter what you have going on this spring, Box of Awesome has you covered. From camping gear essentials, cookout must-haves, and drink game upgrades, Box of Awesome has collections of every part of your life. Plus, with Box of Awesome, you're supporting small businesses. 90% of everything that comes in your Box of Awesome is from a small up-and-coming brand. Get 20% off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com and enter code GG at checkout. That's boxofawesome.com, code GG for 20% off your first box. Boxofawesome.com, code GG.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the GG Over Easy podcast, episode 186. In today's episode, we got a lot to talk about. Things we're not going to be able to get to talk about, frankly, because one of those is the myriad of games that was recently announced in the past week and a half between the Summer Game Fest, Ubisoft's presentation, the Xbox presentation, all the indie game presentations, freaking this and that, and like to the point where I haven't even caught up on everything announced. I still have to go through so much because it's just like, ain't enough time in the day. So before we get to all that, a couple things. It does remind me, this past week, just as an update for those curious, saw the orthodontist that I'll be working with.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, super exciting. Especially when you don't have dental. That's really fun.
Wait, you're telling me YouTube doesn't give you dental?
No. And neither does normal healthcare, because obviously, as we know, your teeth don't count as healthcare.
Separate.
Yeah, obviously. Same with my eyes. Like, those are not part of my body. So,
nope.
Oops, gotta buy them separately.
So anyway,
it's a DLC pack for healthcare.
Did you buy your expansion? Ooh, okay, well, that's gonna cost you.
Ooh, season 22, season of the teeth is what you're gonna need for this.
So into ortho, unfortunately, seems to be a common trend, worse than I thought, and it's gonna take longer. So the goal was a year from now we'll all be done. Turns out it'll be 2 years from now, because hopping into braces. But first, once I get the go ahead from my surgeon, I'll probably be hopping into them end of July. First week is just spacers, for my back molars and everything. Which
what are spacers? I never had braces.
Either is clear. This will be my second time, so I'm lucky.
Wait, Claire's really nice teeth. She didn't have braces?
Ask me, yeah. I'm like, what? So
I had Invisalign. I had like the
braces are
the expensive braces.
Braces are rough, let me tell you. Invisalign won't do what I need them to do. So
yeah, because you need more so like jaw movement.
Yeah, so I'll explain exactly what the plan is. The spacers go, and first time I go there, you put spacers for a week. Spacers do exactly what they sound like. They place these plastic wedges in between your teeth, so that in the next week it'll push your teeth apart. So I'll be a little tindy. You say that first week.
That hurts so bad.
And they're doing the spacers specifically because I'm getting the full treatment, baby. Like, if I'm going to the spa, I'm essentially getting like the deluxe full package, baby. So
They're not wrapping you in a blanket with goose.
Yeah, we're not just getting brace face. You know what I'm saying? We're getting rings, which I've never had before, so that'll be fun. Which is why I need spacers, which literally they take a ring and socket it around the entire tooth. So that's why I need spacers. Yes, Rob.
Does that mean you get rubber bands? Is that the same thing? No?
That's the second part of the package. Yeah. So I'll be getting the rings, then I'll be getting the braces, and then to finish it out, we'll be getting some rubber bands. So it's like rings on all my back 2 teeth, I believe. So 8 rings, and then braces on like the top 4 or 6, and then the bottom like 4, then rubber bands. And the whole idea is for the next 10 to 12 months, I think I go in like every month, and they're going to keep tweaking it, because what they need to do right now is to make my teeth fit the puzzle, essentially. So the orthodontist like explained it to me, but essentially like the whole idea is he's getting my teeth prepped for the surgeon. His job is to get the puzzle pieces to fit, and then the surgeon's job is to put the puzzle pieces together. Because right now, if I were to have the surgery, the problem is my teeth aren't in the place they are. Yeah, so even if they did the surgery, the problem is like my bite and the fit, it doesn't work. So the whole idea is to start like moving everything.
What you have is like what I went through in high school, but like times 20, because I had these 2 teeth that were like chipped, broken, and it was like, yeah, we can put veneers on those 2 teeth, but you're gonna look stupid because like your teeth aren't straight. So they had to like use Invisalign to like shape my mouth to the puzzle piece, and then they could fit veneers in there. But yours is like times 20, man. It's gonna be awesome. I don't want to say it's gonna suck. Yeah, it's gonna be great. You're gonna kill it.
I'm just a little bummed because I didn't realize I'd be going in every month. And for everybody who has had normal braces, and especially rubber bands, as you know, anytime they make a correction or you get them in, or they move something, you are tindy for a good bit of time. So I'm just hoping each time he does that, it's not enough that I can't like work.
I hope
We'll
it's
see.
like kind of like you're tendy for the first like day or so, and then you
hoping.
just get used to it. Because that's what it was like with Invisalign. Is you would go to a new tray, and it was like, oh, okay, like after a month with this tray, my mouth is like, it just feels like I'm wearing a mouth guard. But as soon as you put in like the next month's tray, it was literally like super compact. You could literally feel it move in your teeth, and it like hurt so bad for like the first 2 days.
So I'm
But then like you
assuming
just kind of get used to it.
the first week or 2 weeks of getting in initially are going to be a little rough, which I'm a little worried because that's when, depending on when I get the braces, the next week will be Orlando. So I'm hoping I'm not just miserable down in
Which
Orlando.
hey, I got a message from GCX today. You're 100% in, apparently.
For what,
Like you're
the
going.
convention?
Meet
Oh,
and greet and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, well, I talked to him. We're trying to figure it out. But
That's
I'll be
cool, 'cause,
going,
like,
for anyone listening, I'll be going to GCX. I think I'm only going to be there Saturday. We're picking one
yeah,
day.
same.
And Saturday, I assume, will be when most people are able to get there. So I'll be doing meet and greet. And if I don't have an official meet and greet, I'll essentially just be somewhere
I
meeting
mean,
and greeting.
they told me you're having an official one because, like, because I was like, yeah, I'm going to GCX this year because this probably will be my last one though. I was like, they're like, do you want to meet and greet? And I was like, nah, ain't nobody lining up to see Ravi V. I was like, I'll just like stand there. If someone recognizes me, I'll say what's up. They can take a picture, all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't think I need an official meet and greet. And then they were like, oh, Mr. Fruit's gonna have one. And I was like, okay, you could just stick me next to fucking him. Like, just stick me next to him, and then everybody be like, oh, that's okay. Like, gas me up a little bit. So I'm excited for GCX with you. It's gonna be sweet. When's the last time you went? 2019? 2018?
Maybe like 28. Yeah, I don't know. A while.
Because I don't think you went
It
to
was
2019.
the last one I think I went to was when they had the that Gambit tournament where I won.
So that was 2019. That was 2019.
It was the first time they were in the bigger convention hall or whatever that was.
Yeah. It was when I realized you sleep with monsoon rains and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we'll be there. It lines up for Claire and I. We're going because our anniversary is right around there. So we're gonna go down to Universal. We'll get to see Hogwarts and whatnot. We'll spend a couple days there. So GCX is more of like it lined up. So I'll say hi to some people. And a lot of friends will be there, so it just works out. So yeah, anywho.
Are you staying at the hotel?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think. And then afterwards, I'm not sure. Claire's booked it.
Probably gonna book today then.
Yeah. So Ortho said 10 to 12 months.
Unlucky.
So I should be expecting to have surgery around this time next year, which is also unlucky. A little later in the year than I would have liked. But
I thought we were shooting for like January-ish. Like,
yeah, that happened.
Okay.
Because if I want January, then it's wait another 7 months. Which the problem too is
I see. So it would like extend it like another 8 months until that next January, like 2025.
Well, and then and the problem would be we have to keep adjusting because it's not like my teeth are just going to stop. Like the whole idea is we have to get them into place, and once they're into place, let's get moving. So essentially, it's just going to be whenever surgery works out. Hopefully a little sooner rather than later. And then surgery, and see, this is what they didn't tell me, was after surgery, I'm going to stay in braces for another 6 to 12 months. Because,
oh, no way.
Yeah. Because this is the other fun part. We have to think about. Once I get the surgery, the braces, their new purpose is to stop things from regressing. Because even though they just broke the jaw and fixed it and everything, if they don't do anything, it's just going to start to go back to where it was unless we can like make it sort of a permanent solution. So for the next 6 to 12 months, they'll keep making adjustments to make sure that nothing starts to go back. And then after that, and once they see that like it seems pretty good, I'll be out of braces. Um, the potential good news is that depending on what the surgeon wants to do, after surgery, my jaw might not be wired shut. It'll be banded shut. But for my anxiety, I would much rather be banded than wired. Just like a mental thing. So I would prefer to be banded. We'll see what happens. But yeah, surgery, and then half a year to a year. And then, hoping it's done, but also, you know what's fun is everybody I talk to, literally the first thing he says is, before we start, I just have to tell you, I can't guarantee this will fix anything. But
you gotta love that.
But the other thing too is like,
Like-
this is your best shot. Because like this surgery, for instance, is the only thing that fixes a crossbite. There's no other way to fix a crossbite. So, well, and the thing too is a lot of people have crossbites and it doesn't happen to be a problem. But hey,
Crossbite just means like your bite doesn't like go like straight. It's
it
like,
means
something like
your
that.
your upper teeth sit in, but like within your bottom teeth. So instead of like you have your bottom set of teeth,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have your top set of teeth, and they would just like they just line up right on top of each other. Yeah, and your bite looks, yeah, actually, yeah, great. Line up right with each other. Well, mine don't do that. Like my back molars, for instance, are like that much further in than my bottom molars. Like everything is just way more shrunk in.
Yeah.
So that's why you need the surgeries, because the only way to fix that is you have to just widen it, push it forward. They explain the whole surgery. Actually pretty fascinating. Where like there's like 4 parts of the bone. There's 3 on top and then like 1 on bottom, depending on if they have to do the jaw, where like they'll cut, and then literally they're like cutting it into certain puzzle pieces so that then when they move it, it all sort of gels together. And he talked about like how they'll take molds of my teeth over time, and then he sends it over to the surgeons who make
That's the
like
worst part.
mechanical jaws, and then they perform surgery on those jaws over and over until they figure it out. And then then they like write it down. So like we need 1.8 millimeters on the left, and then we're gonna do 3.2 millimeters on the right.
That's cool.
But then they just come in, you know, they have the spark notes. They're like, all right, we're just gonna
like
which granted too, these people, like the surgeon I'll be using has been doing this for like 40 years.
How many like surgery has he done these type of surgeries before?
Oh yeah, like
This is like
I think
what he
he's
does.
top recommended in like the Midwest for this kind of surgery.
Oh, okay.
Because like Dado's dad, who's a big dental guy, he was the one that recommended this guy in the first place. Before I even knew I would need the surgery, he's like, hey, you should see this doctor. And it turns out
in Colorado too.
Yeah, and it turns out I needed that doctor.
That's cool. Shout out to Mr. Stefan.
Yeah, so I did. The one weird thing though is I don't know how it's gonna work, because the one nice thing about this past surgery was it was all external, all the incisions.
Mhm.
This one, all the incisions are like top gum, bottom gum, like where they go in to grab the bone and everything. So I'm just not sure
I
how
don't like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure how
Like how
drinking, yeah, or like, because right now when I was like sipping or like drinking or eating, I didn't have to worry about anything.
Mhm.
So it'll just be interesting to see.
Do you
how
have
this
to like
goes.
when you have
Tube time.
surgery?
It's tube time,
do they-
baby.
Yeah,
Feed you through a tube.
it'll probably be worse than that. I mean, think about that. Like they'll have me like that, except, and then they just straight up like take my jaw. And just freaking,
For free?
for free. I do not accept you. That would
You can go
probably
wider.
break everything in my mouth right now if I open that wide. Keep showing off. No, that's fine. I get it. Oh, God.
For free?
Yeah, I was gonna say a video we are eating right now.
Wow. That hurts my hand though.
I would understand. That hurt my jaw looking. So
Honestly, same.
so yeah, that's the update. You'll see me here soon in a little brace face. That'll be fun for 2 years.
I won't make any. I'll make one braces joke a month. One
You get
one racist
one.
joke. I get one.
That's I'm not my teenage years. I'm not gonna be self-conscious. It's like whatever.
I mean, like,
More just like a get
did you
over it.
have rubber bands in high school or like middle school?
No. Which is
Okay.
why he said that we're gonna do rubber bands. I went, ooh.
Yeah.
Because the thing I remember the most about hating braces, them rubber bands. But
Did they ever like break in your mouth like while you talked? Like, I bet that kind of hurts. Like if it breaks.
there was
and
one
snaps,
time
like,
you want to
it's-
snap. Ooh, not fun. But they're pretty resilient. Didn't really
Does it
happen much.
like? Does it give you basically like you can't open past a certain type of point? Is that why like
Yeah.
you have rubber bands? Okay.
And we'll see, like what when I'm using the rubber bands, how often they want. Because like sometimes you can take them out. It also depends on how they want the rubber bands to be. Because like I remember they would do rubber bands from one tooth to one tooth, like a little diagonal. That's fine. But sometimes they would triangle it, and when it's like 3 teeth, that was the rough one. But either way, got that coming. And then so now it's praying 2 years from now. This is all behind me. Please.
I know
Jesus.
it will be, dog. You're taking the necessary steps to fix things and doing the right thing. Unlike somebody like me who would just be like, this is just my body. Like this is just how I live.
If that were the case,
So
I
good
would
for you.
be eating mashed potatoes for the rest of my life. So I don't really have a choice.
Potatoes, though.
So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Other live things, Rob and I went out and touched grass. A rarity for me, at least.
Yeah, definitely rarity for you.
Pardon your regularly scheduled podcast listening for this short ad break.
I got a question for you. What's more American than a bald eagle? The 4th of July is almost here, and that means a couple of things. Barbecue, pool parties, and last but not least, glizzies. We all love a good glizzy, and it just so happens that our sponsor today, Manscaped, are making sure that your glizzy gladiators across the nation are groomed for battle on America's birthday. From the sea to a shining sea, join over 8 million pube patriots worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer. 20% off and free shipping worldwide. Shipping with our code GG at manscaped.com. Talk about the American dream. My pubes be looking fresh AF. My glizzy is ready for some action. And it's all thanks to that Lawnmower 4.0, baby. You can call yourself an American without the Lawnmower 4.0? I don't think so. Take your freedom bells to the next level by going to manscaped.com and get 20% off with free shipping with the code GG. Get your independence back this Independence Day and unlock your confidence with Manscaped. One time I got in a car accident and I didn't really know like what kind of steps to go through about like, I don't know, stuff with lawyers and stuff. Probably should have called Morgan & Morgan at some point during that. You know, going to like court and all that and getting all that stuff involved is kind of scary. So we didn't even explore the option. If I went with Morgan & Morgan, I could have explored that option easily. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. They have over 100 offices nationwide and more than 800 lawyers. With over $15 billion recovered for clients, Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record. If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their free is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/GG or dial #law, #529 from your cell phone. That's forthepeople.com/GG or #law, #529 from your cell. This is a paid advertisement. Thank you, Morgan & Morgan, for sponsoring this podcast. The Denver Nuggets were in the NBA playoffs, obviously, and made it to the finals. And I stand for my sport teams. And like the Nuggets for me is like, you know, that sports team that I had that never like won. It was that one that was like, I got the Patriots. We win all the time, or we won all the time.
So rough, I know.
Baseball's stupid, so I don't like baseball. Was never really like a soccer fan of Arsenal until like recently. So it was basically like the Patriots and the Nuggets were like my ultimate fandom, but it was like I would trade any of those New England Super Bowls for one like Denver Nugget championship. Like that's how
Denver Nugget jeans.
Yeah, like And Blue didn't know what Denver Nugget jeans was. Do you know what it is now, Blue? Have you seen
I
Denver
do
Nugget jeans?
know what it is now.
Okay.
That was a very old core memory unlock. I was like, Denver
Yeah.
Nugget jeans. What the fuck?
Because like I was talking to Sammy about it. Even Sammy was like, he doesn't know Denver Nugget jeans. I was like, yeah. Like, I was like, even you know, Sammy. So I went to game 1 and it was super awesome and it was a great time. So the way, for those that don't know how like basketball series works, is it's a best of 4 or best of 7, I guess. So first of 4 wins this series. So the Denver Nuggets went up 3-1 with game 5 being at home. Now, NBA final tickets are not cheap. So I just planned on going to like Denver and with Sydney and I was like planning it. And I get a text from like Mr. Fruit the next morning. I had like set so many plans to like watch it at a bar and stuff like that. And so Christian sends me a text the next morning, goes, I'll see you Monday, with like a handshake emoji. And it's like a picture of like the tickets that he like bought. And my immediate thought is, oh my God, him and Claire are going to the game. How awesome. Like that is going to be so cool for them. Awesome. And I was like, dude, have fun. We'll meet you maybe after, like Sydney and I will be at a bar. And he goes like, no, this is me inviting you. And like, when I tell you, like, I needed jaw surgery because my jaw hit the floor so fast. Like, I could not believe it. I literally like immediately started like, I was like, no, like, no. Like, no. Kind of like how I reacted to your best man proposal. Like, I was like, nah, like, no, like, no. You could you take. So like, he's like, no, like, we're going. And like, shout out to Sydney, who is like an also diehard Nuggets fan and is like my Nuggets partner. I was like, Christian invited me to the game. She's like, oh my God, what a great friend. Go. And it was not like, oh, like have fun. Right. It was like, go and have fun. Like, that is so awesome for you. Like, do it. So shout out to the boy. Got us game 5 tickets. Thankfully, was smart about it and just got us in the building. You know, I didn't need anything crazy. Well, because we did post seats. We'll get to those seats in a second. So, we're like basically where I normally sit, like if it's a playoff game, just like mid-level, like half court, like 3rd row up, like you can see everything. Like it's basically like you don't need anything else. Like I'm in the building. So we meet at Brooklyn's, getting a little tipsy. It was funny because we were hanging out with like my IRL friends, like and a fan like comes up to Christian and goes like, Mr. Fruit, and then like I hear that, so I turn around and he goes, oh, Robbie V too, and then like I can see my friend like Mickey in the peripheral. He's literally like, nice, yeah, shout out. He was literally like, Mickey was like, he like loves seeing that. So like we like take a picture with him, and it's funny because like Christian's brother is there, and he goes, I forget you're famous sometimes. Like, so we're like at the bar and stuff, and then we finally go in. And it's about like 45 minutes for tip-off. I can't believe I'm there. Like, we're having a sick time. First quarter ends. We get a text from Mr. Fruit's brother saying, hey, the seats I bought, the people in the front of the row didn't show up. We moved up 1 row. Take our seats behind us. And I can like see Mr. Fruit. Mr. Fruit's like not comfortable. He's like, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
I told Rob, I was like, you're gonna have to do this because I'm not a good liar.
Yeah.
If it's up to me, we're not getting in there. So, yeah, and Rob's like,
I'm the best liar. Like,
I was made for this.
Don't worry. Yeah, so we get down to the ticket thing. I was like, hey man, like just bought these tickets. Like, I don't really know where I'm going. And he's like, look, he's like down there. I was like, all right, cool. So we go to these seats, and it's like what, 6 rows behind the basket, like.
Well,
something like
not
that.
Including like the floor seats where.
Yeah, so that, but I
then yeah, it would,
so like,
well, yeah, it would
those,
be. Yeah, like
there's like 3 rows like that are actually on the court, and then like one more row, and then it was like us, like in like the 6th row. So like I think Peyton Manning was like 4 rows ahead. It was literally the most.
Peyton Manning was right there. Eric Andre was right there.
Yeah. I don't know what Eric Andre was doing. He just must be a fan of basketball and like.
Yeah,
just,
why not, right?
So we had like the most amazing seats ever. And I gotta say, it was one of the worst basketball games I've ever been to. Nobody could buy a bucket. Like, I was literally telling Christian, I was like, for your first basketball game, like, it's cool that it's game 5 and stuff, but like, you came to a stinker. Like, this is
I
like,
was like,
I
this,
think
like, is this low scoring? This seems low scoring. Could we be going into the
Yeah.
fourth like this?
Yeah, it was like, I think to put in comparison, I think the over line was like 209 and a half. And I think by the end of the game, it was like 160. So it was like 49 points below what bookmakers like normally make it. And normally the bookmakers, like by the end of the game, it's like 210. It's like, how the hell do they know these lines so quickly or like so closely? And I have to say, Mr. Fruit, thank you for giving me one of the best experiences of my life, because I got to watch my team win. I was like, we're gonna lose this game. Like, it's like, it was like inevitable. I really thought we were gonna lose it. And like, I think that's why I was so emotional. It was literally like going like this through the whole game. And I also got really emotional. I had like my friends talking like, dude, you're acting like you won the NBA championship. And I was like, dude, like, I've been dreaming since I was like 12 years old to be at an NBA finals. The fact I'm like there with my best friend, he's there with his brother and like his best friend. It was like, it was like an accumulation of just accumulation or whatever the word is, just of like everything in my life coming together to bring me to like this like perfect euphoric moment, man. And it was like just a wave of emotions of just being there, being with my best friend, seeing my team win a championship. Like, it was like, and then like knowing I'm gonna go party like crazy in Denver, which I ended up not doing because I have a funny story about that. But it was I hope you had fun, man. I hope the Dippin' Dots treated you well. I felt bad because I got you the cookies and cream one, and it had some pieces of cookie in there that I didn't know if you could actually eat.
It's all right. The dots were good.
But man, that was like such an experience. I
And
hope
that's
you
why I
had
got
fun.
one. Yeah, I had fun. I mean, like, if you didn't care, I would have never gone to the game. But I
Yeah.
knew potential to make history would mean a lot to you. It'd be a new experience. Want to be there, and so
I also
glad
got
we
in
did it.
so many. I didn't realize me tweeting world champions would trigger every European, Canadian,
Well,
anybody from not yeah,
Dude,
actually only America,
it's like, oh yeah, man, for sure, yeah, 100%. It's not like U.S. cleans up every Olympics, for sure,
that's what
man.
that's what I'm saying. Like, you just like, okay, you want us to go beat up the dudes in Brazil and Greece or wherever the fuck everybody else plays basketball?
Yeah, like, be honest
Sure.
here. Yeah, be honest here. Let's be real here. What team internationally is beating the lowest American team, bro?
Yeah,
Like, come on.
exactly. Like, it's never happening. So like, yeah, we're the world champions. Because guess what? The NBA is the most competitive basketball league. But what they do is they compare it to soccer, which you can't do because soccer is such a different, entirely different sport, and the way the leagues work and stuff like that. Because they actually do have like a world championship or like a European championship, if you will. So man, I got in so many debates with the Europeans about that. So I walked Christian to his car because I was like, he obviously just had jaw surgery. He showed me pics. Like, you could literally, it looked like you had another, because I was explaining it to Sydney. I was like, it looked like he had like another ear hole, like right here. Like, you had like double ears. So I was like, I know. And it had like just started kind of scabbing. So it was kind of finally closing. So I was like, and you're like, I'm going to go home and pop some pain meds. So I was like, let's get him to his whip. And then as soon as I got you to the whip, it was on to market. I literally was like,
We're all just like, see that town? I'm gonna go paint it
yeah.
red. Nice. Be safe.
So we get to like the bars, and like, I just hate waiting in like lines for 40 minutes just for me to go stand behind like a bar, like, hey, trying to get like the bartender's attention. They're all running. Like, it's like the introvert in me is like, they're working so hard. Like, I don't want to add to that. Like, or just, I don't want to just be a nuisance. But then, okay. So I got to make sure I actually use fake names here, because when I was explaining it on Joey's stream, I accidentally leaked real names. Okay. So I'm out with my friends, Timmy and Charlotte. Okay. Now, Timmy and Charlotte really liked the party. Before this, Timmy fell down some flight of stairs and nearly broke his ankle.
Timmy fell down a well.
Yeah, so Timmy's like walking on apparently a really bad sprained ankle, and his wife Charlotte meets up with us. I think I already changed the name. So Big Cat, I don't need to leak that name because Big Cat is the man and didn't have anything crazy happen to him. Big Cat gets us like these shots of something. I don't know what they are. Like, but it was kind of like, I could tell it was a shot because she filled it up and it like only went up to here. But it was kind of like fizzy and it was kind of like tasty. So I was like, I don't know like what this is, like, but I'm gonna drink. So I like take a shot of it and it's like, it's good. But like it's one of those like, like you feel it like as soon as it hits the bottom of your stomach, it's like boom, like. So I'm like, okay, like, and then I'm like, so, and then we get these like pilsners or something like that. And I take a drink of that to kind of like get my body situation. That almost makes me puke, dude. I don't know if that was like an IPA or something like that. Cause the only IPAs I fuck with are Voodoo Rangers. Any IPA is disgusting. So I like take a sip of that pilsner and it literally like, I was like Paul Wall, bro. I was sitting sideways. I was like, holy fuck, I'm about to puke. And something about me is I'm a sympathy puker. If I see somebody around me puking or like gagging, that shit makes me sick.
You know, that's
So
actually a survival instinct.
Is it?
Because back in the day, for instance, let's say you're with your village, your tribe, some dude starts throwing up. He's probably throwing up because he just ate something bad or poison. So you see it and go, wait, I ate that or something like that. So your body's like, oh, sheesh, if he's struggling, I need to get rid of whatever it is too.
That makes sense. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Okay. So I look to my left and I look on the ground and there's just like little like red spots. Looks like just like a red liquid just kind of on the ground.
I'm telling you, it's blood.
So like, yeah. So I'm like, that's a little weird. And then I see Charlotte like kind of leaning over a trash can and has that red stuff like on her arm. Now, what had happened is Charlotte, after taking the shot, apparently Charlotte had been pre-gaming during the Nuggets game with wine. So apparently she took the shot, tried to hold it down and did one of these. And it just kind of went like through. Yeah. So like she had it like on her arm and like on the ground. And like, it started like actually smelling. Like I could just like fixate on it. It started like just smell. Yeah. So like I'm literally like, holy fuck, I'm about to puke. Yeah. Like I'm like, and it's literally like I'm like one shot in. Like the night has like just started. I'm like, oh my God, like I'm about to puke. And like, thank God, Timmy's friend, who's like this older gentleman. Like I'd probably say like old enough to be my dad. He's just like one of Timmy's coworkers. Thank God, bro. Just goes, so what do you do? And so like when someone asks me that question, I know I'm in for a 20-minute conversation. Because as soon as you go like, oh, I like make content, I like stream on Twitch, or like, it's not just like, oh man, that's cool. It's, how does that work? How do you make money? How many subs do you have? My nephew plays, yada yada.
You think he could do it?
Yeah, so like, thank God he asked me a question because it like genuinely distracted me from my like outside environment. And at this point too, I will say, at Brooklyn's, I got a tequila Red Bull double. At the bar before, we took a shot of something, and then I drank, I forget what it was. I wanted to remember the game, so I didn't want to be too trashed at the game, but I wanted to be buzzed, which I totally was. I was perfect. So I had like a lot to drink at the game too, and then I think I had like a seltzer at some point. So I was pretty down deep here. And what kind of was insane is the bar was closing, and I was kind of pissed. I was like, wait, it's only like 12 o'clock and the bar is closing? And this is where me and Joey now have a common thread. It turns out the bar / like area I was in, right across the street from it, a fentanyl deal gone wrong happened, which in turn made two men started shooting at each other with like guns in front of like a SWAT team and stuff. Like, I can't believe that there was a fentanyl deal gone wrong. There's literally SWAT everywhere, and these two dudes just start shooting at each other. So literally, like, I left about 20 minutes before that happened because they were like closing down the bar I was at, and I just didn't want to go wait in another line. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just go home. So missed the shooting by like 20, 30 minutes. Got home, ate a pepperoni pizza, and passed the fuck out. It was truly one of the greatest days of my life, and I literally owe it all to Mr. Fruit. I have the best boss in the world. Just not the best boss, but just like the best friend in the world that, you know, he could give a flying fuck about basketball. Could give two shits. But he gives two shits about his boy and took me to the game, and I will forever be indebted to him. And it makes it easier that he's not here because then I feel uncomfortable when I say these type of things in front of him. But I had a lot of fun. It was sick. I now know, Blue, how you feel when your San Antonio Spurs were winning championships. I just hope I don't get like jaded. Yeah, I just hope, you know, don't get jaded, and when we win and we repeat that it's all going to be the same. So again, thank you, Mr. Fruit, for that. I had a blast. And yeah, that was basically like the night.
Well, I thought it was funny. I felt bad because Rob and I ended up sitting in those seats, which had I gotten them before the game, I think we're about 5,000 each. So
in unreal, like,
we're sitting
if you had spent that, I'd have been pissed. I'd have been like, dude, what are you doing? Like,
we're sitting in very expensive seats, surrounded by people who bought them, so they are heavily invested. And I'm going, Rob, what's a shooting foul? So why wasn't that a penalty? Why do you only get one?
Like, I loved that though, because it means you like wanted to learn about basketball a little bit, and you know, maybe this makes you a little bit of a Denver Nuggets fan.
Now I'm like, now I understand, because yeah, for people watching, that's probably the first basketball game I've watched start to finish. I've never been to a basketball game, so it was a new experience for me, and I can't go to another one because I'm never gonna beat that.
Yeah, like, how do you top that?
The first title history. Yeah,
I've never heard Ball Arena that loud, like, ever in my life. Like, it was literally like ear pinch. Like, it was such an awesome experience, dude. And I owe it all to you, dude. So again, thank you for being not just the best boss in the world, but being the best friend in the world. So thank you.
Got you. Just glad you had fun, and I'm glad you were safe. I don't know if you talked about that, but
yeah, I did. I explained the whole like shooting thing that happened like 20 minutes before I left.
Or 20
so, you know,
after.
Joey and I, yeah. So, yeah, I told him it was apparently, because like the Denver Post has kind of let out some information now. It wasn't even like a targeted attack or anything like that. It was a fentanyl deal gone wrong, and some dude just started they just started shooting at each other because he had bad fentanyl or anything. Speaking of the best things to come or happen in our lives, a lot of cool video games got announced this week. And I actually have something to share with you guys. So before the podcast, we were talking about like what we were going to talk about, and Party Animals got brought up because Party Animals has an official release date. And Mr. Fruit goes, yeah, and they've been giving some YouTubers some early access, and they haven't hit me back up. So your boy, at that very moment, goes into the Party Animals Discord, finds one of the community managers, messages them, and gets a response right here, basically saying like, can you prove it's you? And then he goes, let's do it this way. Please create a new ticket in the mod mail. Add the names of all the streamers / content creators from your group that may want access to the game.
Look at my man. I got Donald Wald. You're out here thinking 4D chess.
Yep. I mean, I have like a cover letter, you know, that I have for community devs when I'm trying to gas up Mr. Fruit. So,
well, that's why when I did DM him, I was like, and if you're curious, I have made videos on it. And so I put the one that has like 800,000 views. And I was like,
yeah,
you know, no shame in my game. No.
Yeah. This is my intro. Hey, Gabe. I'm friends with a YouTuber that has 2 million subs. And when we recorded it, we recorded 2 videos of it with each getting around 800,000 views. And
We ain't gonna
he
get
goes,
that
I'm
now.
seeing your name in one of he goes, I'm seeing you in Mr. Fruit's descriptions. Like, would you be able to confirm that it's you? So like, I was going to put a thing on my hat, but he's like, I looked at your connected accounts. So Party Animals is going to officially happen here soon. I just need to create a ticket after this. And figure out who's all interested, which I'm sure is going to be Sammy, Blue, Dork, basically everybody who was like in that. So,
Tell him,
Dude,
if he needs
I
me to
still don't
recut
believe
too.
it's coming out.
Yeah. Again, I want to know like what. That's what
Why
almost
so
3
long?
years ago.
Yeah.
Like
For a game that felt pretty finished back then, so it's like
at most, what they maybe added a couple more animals, which just models, and like a couple more maps. I don't know. I'm just glad it's coming out because that's what I was thinking. I was like, it's been how long? They have like nothing else to do. I was worried it was gonna get shut down or like something was happening in the background. But hey, it's coming out, and I think that's just gonna be a lot of fun.
Pardon your regularly scheduled podcast listening for this short ad break.
one of my favorite things about getting a box of awesome from Bespoke Post every month is how it sneaks up on you. You forget that it's coming, and then one day, boom, on your front door. The best box you'll open all month, filled with carefully chosen gear from the best small brands all over the world. Let's see what I got this month. Ooh, the carnivore box. American barbecue rub by the Great American Spice Company in Rockford, Michigan. Gonna have to throw some of this on the grill. No matter what you have going on this spring, Box of Awesome has you covered. From camping gear essentials, cookout must-haves, and drink game upgrades, Box of Awesome has collections of every part of your life. Plus, with Box of Awesome, you're supporting small businesses. 90% of everything that comes in your Box of Awesome is from a small up-and-coming brand. Get 20% off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com and enter code GG at checkout. That's boxofawesome.com, code GG for 20% off your first box. Boxofawesome.com, code GG. Yeah, it's going to be a blast. So after this, the first thing I'm doing even before ads is I'm going to go make sure I get everybody to this ticket.
Real man cried when Party Animals showed up in the presentation. I was asleep before then, you know. Woo!
I'm not gonna lie. I was a little asleep before then.
Well, there were
Them Party Animals.
There was the problem is, and I'd mentioned it to them too. Like, there's been so many games revealed the past like week and a half. Me, who tries to pay attention to every single, I don't even know all of them. I haven't been able to keep up. I did watch the Summer Games Fest, as well as the Ubisoft and the Xbox.
Did you watch the PC Gamer one or the PC Gaming Show 2023 or no?
I've only seen about half of that. Some cool stuff though. But obviously for a lot of people, I'll be honest, I wasn't gonna watch the whole thing. I skimmed the whole like hour Starfield presentation. I was just like, I'm gonna be honest, I can't sit here for an hour and listen to Todd. I'll believe it when I play it, Todd. All right. It does. I'll definitely say, it does look improved. That's 100% for sure since it was last revealed, and the gunplay looks a lot better. Can't lie, it looks way less clunky, which is a big thing for me. Cause like, I just recently been talking to Claire about this because we are the exact opposite when it comes to games.
Mm-hmm.
When I play a game, if there's story and I haven't played the game yet, skip. Because for me, it's gameplay first. I need to know, am I going to enjoy the gameplay? If yes, then I'd like to know the story. But when it's the other way around, I usually can't get into the game, which is why like roguelikes, for instance, I like, because typically they just throw you immediately in.
Mm-hmm.
Then I can tell if I like the gameplay. And then I'm like, oh, okay, well now I'll get invested. But when a game immediately has lots of exposition and story, I just skip because I'm like, I'm not going to spend an hour watching this and reading this to then play it and be like, oh, I don't like this. So, whereas Claire, she doesn't care so much about the gameplay. She wants to know more about the story, the exposition, gameplay second. Like, for instance, in Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. She likes it because she can essentially run from any fight. There's almost no fight she has to take because she doesn't want to take any fights unless it's like story bosses. She likes that. Whereas for me, I'd be the exact opposite. I'm like, I'm going to take every fight I possibly can. So seeing like the gunplay is a little bit better.
Just like me, for real.
Yeah, seeing the gunplay gave me a little more hope that it'll be interesting for me because just like that, like no matter how immersive or cool it is in all other aspects, if at the end of the day the gameplay loop doesn't catch me, I'm not going to invest into the world. Whether or not like I could want to.
Makes sense.
And there are games where I'm like, I want to like this game, but the gameplay just doesn't keep me. So it was nice to see, because if the gunplay had stayed the way it like seemed in that first reveal, however long ago, there's no shot. So it was cool. Again, I skimmed. There's just a lot of talking. It looks really cool, and I really hope it delivers. It's just, even after seeing that, I'm still sitting here thinking, this is Bethesda.
Dude,
I'm
it's like
not gonna get hurt again. I'm still keeping walls up.
Same, big same. It looked
I
really
mean-
good. Like if it was any other dev, I would be excited.
Yeah, I'd be like one
But
ticket.
you
because
know,
of
like-
Bethesda,
You know, the first day that game is out. I mean, I just saw like collector's edition gives you 5 days, like early access or something like that. I can only imagine as a Bethesda game what those 5 days are gonna look like. Like, did you guys
One
see
of
what the
the-
actual like collector's edition looks like though?
The watch thing's pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty interesting. $300 though. That's kind of a lot.
We type out. I'm over collector's edition. It looks cool. I'm never gonna wear it. I'm never gonna use it. If I end up
Yeah,
doing
for
something, it's
briefcase
just gonna
one.
be somewhere. At this point, I have too much stuff.
What were you saying, Blue?
I was gonna say, I think it was a dev or something, or someone from the team was like, yeah, a year ago we're working on it, and like even just a year ago, bro, like that demo from a year ago, and let me tell you, like the least bugs I've ever seen in a Bethesda game, and I was like, okay, man, that's
Also, not high
That's,
praise because that's still a lot.
yeah, that's not high praise. It's like, dude, like, it's like, man, dude, like, it's like, man, the least health issues I've ever seen in Mr. Fruit, and it's like, hey, man,
And we're still
like
in
that's a
trouble.
lot. Like that's a lot. That's like, I don't know. This isn't gassing it up, man. Like
Because
I don't know.
I mean, look at Zelda. They literally, like, it came out that the game was done a year ago. They took a whole year to iron stuff out. And you know what's crazy? You can tell because like some people are straight up like, I don't know how I haven't seen a bug yet. Like, or like, how is this game running this well? I feel like something should be breaking. Now I get
And
it.
it's funny because that's the exact thing that has made the game such like a viral meme potential game, is the sheer amount of stupid shit you could do with the super polished
And it's not breaking
build
yet.
physics. Yeah, and it's just perfectly on a Switch. On a Switch.
Now I get, like, here's the thing. I get it. It's probably gonna be a huge game, and there's just so much to take in. I get that, but also like, I don't think Bethesda would be willing to just say, "Hey, the game's done. We're gonna take a year to
Exactly.
iron it out." I wish they would. And like, who knows? Again, hey, you can hear me now. You can be like, "Hey, you were totally wrong" when it comes out, and I'd love to be. But given track history, and that's just it. The bigger and more ambitious, the more room there is for more issues.
Well, I mean, I mean, one of the issues already, I mean, at least on consoles, is that it's going to be locked at 30 frames on consoles, which I think a lot of people on Xbox were pissed about, because I think the whole thing with the Xbox was this can do 120 like frames or something like that. Like it was basically like the Xbox's whole like thing and what they were like trying to promote with Xbox. So
It just sucks because every dev, I don't even know if it's the devs who are pushing it, but it's more so the publisher that's just like, oh yeah, gotta run 4K, gotta run 4K.
Yeah, I would. Here's the thing: is I think some normies, real normies, like are like, ooh, yeah, I want 4K, ooh, high resolution, that sounds cool. But if you were to sit them down and just give them even just like 1080, 60, 140 frames, and they're used to 30, I guarantee you, 99% are going to come out and be like, yeah, I'd rather just have frames. That was incredible. Because it is.
Yeah.
It's like game changing. And I
Well,
never
I have a
realized until I moved over to PC. And then I was like, frames, bro,
Yeah,
what are
exactly.
those? And now I see 30 and I'm like, ugh.
But like and it's like not even. I feel like normies are like, oh, dude, this 4K changed my world. It's like I have 2K monitors. I could go to my 20 my how how big is this laptop? I go to my fucking 20-inch laptop and I'd be like, yeah, 1080p 20-inch laptop, and I'd be like, I can't even notice. I mean, I can notice the difference, right? But like, it's like, it's not even remotely the difference from 30 to 60, even 60 to 90. I notice, right? So it's like,
Yeah, some people are like, you can't see a difference past 60.
it's like,
Bro,
man,
I won't have an FPS counter, and I can just tell. Even when I'm playing a game, I'm like, ooh, we're dipping. And it'll only be to
Yeah.
like 80. But I can always tell you.
And
It's night
especially
and
when
day.
you dip under 60, then you can
oh yeah,
you can
oh yeah.
tell like
That's when I turn on the
um
ticker, like, okay, what's going on here?
yeah. So Todd Howard said here, I think it'll come to no surprise given our previous games what we go for. Always these huge open worlds, full dynamic, hyper detail where we can make it happen. And we do want to do that. It's 4K in the X, it's 1440 on the S. We do lock it at 30 because we want that fidelity. We want all that stuff. We don't want to sacrifice any of it.
But see,
So
give them a 1080-60 option. So who people are like, I'll take a little less fidelity. Give me a little more frames.
what do they even mean by fidelity? Fidelity to me is like an insurance company.
Fidelity is everything you see visually. So especially when he's talking about fidelity, he's meaning like the density of things, and like, like let's say there's grass, you need more grass and denser grass, and you see more volumetric things, and the shadows are nicer, and the textures are nicer, and the
So it's like
ambient
I'm in the
occlusion,
grass
and the blah blah,
and the buildings in the background aren't like
raw
kind of
distance, all that
hazed.
stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
So fidelity, usually it can refer to pretty much everything graphically, but a lot of the times too, sometimes fidelity can also include things like being able to have more instances or objects spawned, and all that sort of stuff. So I I get that that's what they want to do, but I have a feeling too it wasn't an option. They have to, because otherwise I don't see why they couldn't offer an option for people, because it's almost like I remember Titanfall was one of the first to do it on the PS4 Pro. A lot of games do it now, where you can go in and say, I want, like even Horizon when I was playing it on PlayStation, it has better graphics, balanced, or better performance. And that's what I would play, better performance. I told the game, I'll take a little less graphically for more frames. Or, you know what? No, I'd rather have it look cooler, but I'll sit at 30 FPS. So I don't see why they couldn't offer that option, because I don't think it is an option. I think they can only make 30 frames work. But it's a nice way to spin it as like, we want to preserve the fidelity. We can't get 60 frames to work, y'all.
This is one of the first games that I've seen that the recommended specs has a GeForce RTX 2080 as like the bare kind of like recommended it. Like I wouldn't say it's the bare minimum you could probably go, but it's the recommended, which is pretty crazy. Also, 125 gigs. I was expecting a lot bigger, I'll be honest.
I mean, I have a problem. Like, well, I'm still waiting on that new gaming PC. We're trying to ship it back, so that it's eventually fixed. But even that, like, I have a 2 terabyte hard drive for just this gaming PC. I had recently just installed Destiny 2 to like install something. I just have no room. So
Yeah,
it's
me
like,
too.
I'm like, where's all this space coming up? And it's like 5 games. Like, what? How's
Well,
this
I mean,
possible?
you saw what my PC looks like with the Pokemon Sun and Moon like thing we're doing. Christian got to see the behind the scenes of my gaming PC, and he hated it.
Well, you would drop kick.
I don't
the
even
monitor.
want to know.
Here, let me see.
I don't
if
even want to. No. I don't know.
It was
I don't
physically painful.
Here.
Please.
And
stop,
then my
please.
man's over here like, why does it sound like an airplane?
I just know.
Look. It's gonna ruin the thing for a second.
Oh my god, man.
I'm scared.
You're the worst person I've ever met in my life. I want you to know that. That's sincere.
Like
That
Christian
comes
was
from a
like, he
place of
found
love.
he found a game that was on here that was like, we haven't played that in
3 or 4 years.
like I have Team Fortress 2 here. Like, why do I have a Team Fortress 2? It's just hilarious.
I just
Look, Spider Hack. We just did that.
Great. That's so great, man.
But then you just do this, and everything's gone. Everything's okay.
So go back to the normal one. Well, no, go back. I didn't get to.
Oh, okay, you want me? Oh, okay.
Well,
you
I
want me
guess
to go back. Okay.
I don't know how to. Let me see if I can get it to show.
Well, here.
The viewers too. Oh, it definitely messes. Okay, well, viewers, you can't really see it. But my man's got his desktop pulled up. And when I tell you that you can't see the wallpaper, because here's the thing too, is my man's got every slot filled with just everything. But then it's also so stacked that in like one corner, it's like hundreds upon hundreds stacked on each other because he doesn't clean it. They're all so you can just drag endlessly because my man saves when I say everything to his desktop, I mean everything.
Look, there's a Roblox player.
Like, is that the Valorant beta? Like, what is that? I can't even tell.
Where? What row?
The bottom.
Oh, this one right here.
I can't even show what that says. It says Valorant.
Riot
what?
clients. It says Valorant x86.
Okay, at least it's not the beta. But like, yeah, I'm looking at like, Rob.
Yeah.
When's the last time we played Cuphead? Not the DLC, because that was at my house. When did Cuphead come out? 2018?
I don't know.
Like, you got cobwebs up in here, man.
Here, I'll take a screenshot. And I'll put this like in the podcast, or like I'll send it to you. That way you can
try and put it in there. But it's bad. He needs help.
Yeah, so
give me so much. Yeah, and then he's like, okay, well, let me just pull up it's
let me
like,
find
wow, wouldn't that be crazy if you just
like you can right click, show icons, don't show icons.
Don't
so
defend
like
yourself. Don't even try to defend yourself.
Well, and then we're trying to like make space. We're trying to make like space for the actual like sun and moon thing because I don't have like Java, I guess, installed or Java 64 on this computer or something. So I had to install a bunch of stuff and delete a bunch of stuff.
Oh, which?
Is this the first? This is the first Fruit and Rob on your channel, right, Fruit?
Yeah, it was first Fruit and Rob block. First episode's actually out as of this podcast. Second episode will be back Monday, so if you guys want to watch that Monday through Friday.
So wait, did the ending? Is the ending part of it? Because I want to talk about it.
Well, it's blacked out. I did like black it out, but yeah, the part is
okay.
Part is there.
The ending is absolutely insane. The ending is absolutely insane.
It was originally supposed to be like a meme clickbait, but then it
let's see like what we run into, and we'll end it and kind of make it crazy, and then like
I won't show it. Oh, what's it gonna be?
Yeah, like okay, like even if it's like a fucking Caterpie, like we'll make it go crazy. Caterpie didn't show up. I'll just say
something else did. I'll tell you, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's coming up, which will be interesting because I also specifically chose the gen I'm probably the least confident in because I've literally played it once. Gen 7. It's a great gen. Yeah, I loved it. Played it all the way through, but since the newer gen, like since especially doing like YouTube and stuff, newer gens, I've never really had a lot of time to go back and play. So it's like that perfect combo of Gen 7 and Gen 6 Pokemon that I know the least about as well. And then tackle on the fact that it's not a normal setup. So I don't remember, it's not 8 gems. I don't entirely remember how all the Kahuna totem stuff works. And then we mention it, might come back to bite us in the butt, but I found a setting and I had to turn it on. All wild Pokemon can call allies. So we're going to see how that goes.
What are the chances of that happening though? Like what? Like there has to be like an actual like.
Well, the fact that we made
number
every Pokemon be able to do it, it'll probably happen a decent bit.
Like is it like in a normal battle? Is it like 10% of the time they do that, or like?
Well, it's usually reserved for certain things, or like certain circumstances. Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out. Oh, and then yeah, also screw you all for your starter choices.
Yeah, because I was
Gen
like,
1 normies,
oh,
man.
like I thought they would like help us out because they knew I'm a Poke noob and give you a broken Pokemon.
And you would have.
And I
you
I
just
thought
have to
like
avoid
they
fire.
would. Just like I don't have a like, but like you were right. We just had 2 banger Gen 1 Pokemon, like Bulbasaur, Golduck. Like that's pretty much gonna win every time.
Well, and people have seen it. The movesets are also randomized. And my Golduck, level 5, knows Hydro Pump,
Oh,
Water Spout,
easy.
Horn Leech, and it's some ice move I've never seen, but it's a 2-turn ice move with
Ice
like
Burn.
yeah, with like 150 base power. Like every move I have is like 120 or more base power. And I'm like, I don't even need more moves. And then Rob's Bulbasaur.
I think like Fly.
No, you had Skydrop, Squash,
Skydrop.
and Defog.
No grass types at all. Or like even though like we have a setting that's like, it's supposed to,
So
give us grass types.
Despite my Golduck, the lock might be getting restart pretty soon. Although his Bulbasaur ability randomized to Magearna's signature ability. So it's actually,
all right. Hey,
if he can survive
cool.
and get some moves,
yeah,
still sweet. But
I'm really looking forward to it though. Like I think it'll be something fun to do. I'm excited about it.
The rules rules are in place.
Yeah, I am
no heel stalling
very
here.
afraid of the rules. Yeah, because Joey was very, very lenient on his rules.
It's like just do it, Rob. Just use them. Just use them all, Rob.
I will say it was pretty boo-boo keys. I mean, lemonade. I
all
think
the lemonades.
I think I drank more lemonades than a bunch of bee stands did. So I'm looking forward to it though, because again, my Pokemon knowledge is pretty non-existent past maybe a little bit of Gen 3. And the only Gen 3 like Pokemon I know are like the legendary ones, really. Because that's like the Palkia set, right? And the Kyogre one, or no?
That's 4.
What are the Gen 3 legendaries?
Groudon, Kyogre, Rayquaza, Reggie, all the Reggies, Latios, Latias, Deoxys, Rachi.
So yeah, that's gonna be really sick. Looking a lot forward to that, and I'm more so excited to see, because I think a lot of people have asked for this one, because you have a very highly knowledgeable Pokemon master, and then you have somebody that doesn't know anything.
Well, I wouldn't say highly knowledgeable.
He does his best.
Yeah, I'm good. But what people fail to realize is like when I did my first Nuzlocke on that channel, it's the first Nuzlocke I've ever done, and up until that point, I liked Pokemon, but I played Pokemon like a normie. Granted, the one thing I never did was just a level 1 person. I never did that. I always like to keep everyone equal. That was my OCD. But like, I kind of knew my type weaknesses, but what would it matter? Oh, he fainted, revive, or I'll just do this, or oh, that was weak. I forgot that. Whoops. And then like stab, I don't even think I really knew what stab was. Like, I don't know. Everyone knows Hyper Beam. This is fun. So I've had to learn essentially as I've gone with all these Nuzlocks. So I'm definitely way better than I was, which is also why I try and make it a little harder every time I do it, because I like the challenge. But it's taken a lot of trial and error. And usually all the mistakes I've made in Nuzlocke are the reason I know more. Like, turns out, don't underestimate baby Pokemon. For whatever reason, a lot of them have really good attack stats. And also, even if it's a baby Pokemon
hurt.
times 4 weakness always hurts. Maybe watch out for that. These are the things I learned.
No Gamba.
Yeah. So, you gamble a little bit. But now I gamba smarter. Whereas before, everything was essentially just a blind gamba. But so yeah, no, over the years, I would definitely say I've gotten way better. But, I mean, just like that, I've never played a competitive game of Pokemon in my life. The first versus Pokemon battle I've ever played in my life was against Joey in a cage lock. The first time I ever played somebody in a Pokemon match. So I have still much to learn. But aside from that, there was that new Star Wars Outlaws. I'm curious what you guys think. Revealed by Ubisoft.
I didn't watch any of the gameplay or anything yet. The concept is cool.
Oh,
No, I'm always super wary though about open world shit though.
well, it's interesting you mention that because I watched the Xbox showcase, and I was so surprised to go to Twitter, and everyone's popping off. They're like, dude, Xbox blew me away. They're in it, dude. They're back. LMAO, PlayStation, blah, blah. I was literally about to post, like, that was the most resident showcase. Because I think I counted. One game showed gameplay. One!
Yeah. Well, I
and
saw a
everyone's
meme and
like,
it
dude,
was
this.
like,
I was like, have we not learned? Like, as soon as it's just
What-
cinematic, I'm like,
you know
could not care
that
less.
scene in American Psycho where like Christian Bale, they're showing like cards and stuff like that. It's like it was a meme and it was basically showing like my impressions of the Xbox showcase, and it was him going, very nice, very nice. And then the bottom one was like, now show me the gameplay.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what, like, every reveal, it would start out with cinematic. I'm like, oh, that's kind of, can't wait to see the gameplay. Next world reveal. I'm like, and I'm not kidding. I think like one game showed gameplay. So like for me, it was just
it was
cool.
probably
Like
like
I might as well have not
Microsoft
watched
Flight
it.
Simulator.
Yeah.
Too.
So like for me, it's like, oh, that was a cool Fable trailer. Yeah. We also knew Fable's coming. Where's the gameplay?
I also, Kirsten, think you should make a Microsoft Flight Simulator game. Buy all the flight sim stuff, buy a pilot suit, and just start
That's look
flying some
crazy.
airplanes. That would be some funny content.
That's some expensive, funny content.
Yeah.
But
But now you have a flight sim.
yeah, that was the one odd thing about Xbox because I feel like it seems like generally the video game community has agreed upon like we don't care about cinematics anymore. Like show us the gameplay, and then I go to Twitter and everyone's raving, and that's what I was literally watching. I was waiting to notch when I'd see gameplay. And I'm like, spoilers, I didn't really make any notches.
I mean, how'd you feel with seeing Obsidian back?
Seemed cool, but again, like
Avowed or something?
yeah, which doesn't come out until like
RPG.
2025, I think. Which seems cool. No, I'm down. Seems like their take on more of like a Skyrim sort of thing. Which, by the way, it's been 6 years since they announced Skyrim's Elder Scrolls 6. Sorry, they probably still haven't even done a thing on it. Like
I was gonna say like
it'll be another 6.
Now I bet they're doing it now. Now that Starfield is finally in like I forget what it's called, like it's gold now, which basically means like the game is essentially done. So like I feel like when they get to that stage, like now they're just kind of like wrapping it with a bow. They're probably moving some of that team to Elder Scrolls. I hope. Like
Yeah.
I hope.
I mean, I don't think we see Elder Scrolls for at least 4 or 5 years.
When did Skyrim come out?
2012?
2012? 2011. God. 12 years ago.
Sheesh.
Still one of the best games ever, though. I love that game.
Yeah, the gameplay of Outlaws seemed pretty interesting, but like I think I saw a lot of people say it, and I admit it too. It's pretty impressive how Ubisoft can make every game look like Far Cry or Assassin's Creed, no matter the game.
Dude, there was like Star Wars, Ubisoft. Well, I was like Star Wars, and then Ubisoft. I was like,
No.
So we'll see. Like that
You
was,
got
I think like that's one I'm gonna play and give a chance no matter what. It seemed interesting. But like the Assassin's Creed gameplay, like bro, it looks like we're back on the 360. I mean, it looks like nothing has changed. It looks like the same thing. Which like I don't know, just a little too formulaic, and like
yeah.
because like I'd recently played a little more of Valhalla while I was getting surgery. I didn't play
Oh.
much, but I booted up just to see, and I was literally just playing this game last week. It's just so strange.
it's crazy how
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild came out and like just changed the way everyone did open worlds, and Ubisoft saw that and they were just like, "What if we didn't change anything about how we do our open
What
worlds?"
if no? Because like people meme on Ubisoft and some other ones with like like Waymarker Simulator,
Yeah.
and I am sort of as I figured out with like Zelda. I'm a person who prefers being able to have some more clear goals. Like with Horizon, I liked it because it gave me the option of like how much HUD do I want to see? How much HUD do I not want to see? How many markers do I want to see? How much guidance do I want? I could decide, and I would turn it up when I want it or turn it off. Depends on what I want. I like that because sometimes I like to have clear goals. I want to go here. I want to do this, or I just want to see everything I can in this region. Sometimes I don't, but Ubisoft so often just goes the full like everything is on rails or like everything's given to you. You see everything. And I think some of the magic that can be lost with games like that, even Horizon somewhat, is just it's harder to stumble upon something. Sort of like in Red Dead, they would do a good job of that. There'd be like random things you could just run across that aren't marked, aren't whatever, but it's like a cool event or some little microcosm or person. That's where open world can be fun too, is when you have that genuine thing of like, I'm gonna go over here. I don't know what's there, but I'm probably gonna find something cool. And then you do.
Yeah.
Might not be like loot, but it's like some sort of something. So I'm hoping with Outlaws that it's less there isn't any game like it. So I'm hoping that they learn from what they've been doing with Assassin's Creed and Far Cry, seeing what other people are doing with open world games, and then we'll see what they end up doing. I will say, I didn't understand the hate for Avatar. I think it looked pretty good. It looked pretty cool.
Right.
I still haven't seen it.
I was like,
Um,
graphically, this looks pretty cool. Looks like a big draw is just exploring Pandora, which people like. I saw bow and arrow. You know me. But I didn't see anything that struck me as like, eh. Whereas Twitch chat was just being Twitch chat, like garbage. ZZZZ.
Yeah, boo.
Yeah, LLLL. It actually looked alright. I mean, we'll need to learn more, but I was like, okay. I'll give it to you. We'll have to see how they, again, do the open world, because it's like, go rescue the 8th Navi tower to reveal the rest of Pandora, But
Real quick, did you guys see about the news about Titanfall? Like what they said
I
about
mean,
it?
well,
we kind of knew.
yeah, people said news, but I'm like, that's like that's essentially like they just said the quiet part out loud. We kind of knew that.
Like it was in development for 10 months.
Well, that's when I went to the Apex reveal. That's what I like immediately realized was like, this is now Titanfall, because they even talked about how they placed it in the Titanfall universe. And when I was there at development, they talked about trying to make Titans work in it. And for me, it was obvious, like, okay, yeah, this was Titanfall. So I mean, like, and people keep bringing up, it's sort of like that joke tweet I made about Destiny yesterday, whatever. Like, seeing all these Destiny players, community members, creators, finally talking about, like, being burnt out and blah, 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 and tired of the same thing. I'm like, bro, I accepted that years ago. Same thing with Titanfall.
Yeah.
It hurt, but I fully accepted it, moved on, like, year and a half, 2 years ago. You can't hurt me anymore, all right? It's done. I've moved on. Now, you could hurt me if they come out and say, we might be working on another one. And then if you don't follow through, that would break my heart.
That's gonna hurt me.
But until they literally say, we are making Titanfall 3, you can't hurt me, all right?
My favorite is the meme of like Miguel from the Spider-Verse where he's like watching like his like daughter and stuff like that. And it's like me looking at the universe where Titanfall 3 came out instead of Apex, and he's just like pissed.
I want to go to the universe where PUBG never releases. I'd like to see where we would be in the gaming space. Especially for me, because my favorite game was arena shooters. Those died.
There is a top selling. Would you guys like to guess what the top selling game on Steam right now is? Because this kind of will tie into what Christian just said.
I think
we're actually playing it later today.
Oh, is it BattleBit?
Yep, BattleBit is the #1 game on Steam right now, and I didn't know this. It's only made by 4 people.
Yeah, it's been in development for a while. Yeah, I think I might have played a little bit, but I was always waiting for the full release. But it's straight up like,
yeah, I'm looking forward to it later today.
I'm not mistaken too. It's like full destruction. Unlike Battlefield these days, 256 player lobbies. Looks fun. Like a less serious Battlefield, but you've got all the bells and whistles.
Do you guys want to move on to Q&A?
Before we do, I just want to hear about Blue's thoughts on the Final Fantasy 16 demo.
Oh, it was so good.
Did you play it?
This game's gonna bang. I just want to say it. This game is going to bang. They
Yoshi P can do no wrong.
Clip it and ship it.
I'm just gonna say my favorite game has been FF14 for quite a while now, and these devs know what they're doing, and they did so good with 14 that they got a chance to make a big AAA mainline title, and they're not taking that lightly. Like, it is, the spectacle of 16 is amazing. You guys have to definitely give it a try. Demo's free. It is so PS5? Fun. PS5. It is okay. Super, super dope, dude.
I'll have to give it a shot.
I'll look into it.
Because
I've never played a Final Fantasy.
Very
ever.
cool. And I have to say, this is an amazing FF. If you have never really played a Final Fantasy game, this is an amazing entry point for people who are like, I don't know, I'm not really into like the weeb shit. Like, it's a little too, like, this is Creative Business Unit 3, very well known, and for FF14 for having like their big like high fantasy focus and a little more like long chain of beating the shit out of something combat. And this is that game, Mr. Fruit. If you want to feel what it's like to do rotations in FF14, but you don't want to play an MMO, play FF16, baby. Like,
I've been seeing people.
Just try the demo. It's really, really great.
Well, I've been seeing people on the Twitter timeline talking about it too, who haven't really played, and we're like, dang, Final Fantasy 16 is gonna bang. So,
is it coming out this year?
Oh, it's coming out in next week, bud.
Wait, what?
Next week?
Oh, I did not realize that. Oh, sheesh.
Correct. The demo was released 10 days before the full release, and for a reason.
Well, dang.
I had no clue.
Well, now I need to play
June 22nd. Okay, well, yeah, I guess I'm playing that next week. What GZ, Blue? Okay, we'll start with the question here. I think we did that one. I'll start from Johnny Appleseed. It says, what is your content creation wet dream? For example, mine would be seeing a full dream team solo/cage lock, or having a random dream team member hop in during a recording and provide commentary/hilarious jokes. Blue or Rob did it once. It would be hilarious. I think I did jump in. I forgot why I jumped into your guys' lock or something like that to yell at a rival. I was your guys' rival or something like that.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah.
I forgot what it was, but it was basically like I ran in there and was like, "Oh, what's going on here?" And you're
Now
like,
don't.
I forget what it was, but I do remember that.
You
want my wet dream of content creation? It's about to happen after this. Party animals with the boys again. Like
my wet dream is a game we all enjoy that also pops off.
Yeah, my wet dream is yeah, that.
Because like really the last one I'd say is Overwatch release.
Yeah.
Because like Among Us a little bit.
Or maybe like,
but it wasn't quite the same.
You're thinking the whole like encompassing of the extended dream team and stuff.
But yeah, I'm pretty much
Like, I was like Forsaken, like yeah.
But I'm saying like a game for the most part. Everybody likes to play. Because we went from the days of like doing our like Tuesday night recordings and being like, sorry, we're full.
Yeah, we're full, man. Like,
to anybody. Well, does anybody else? No? All right. If we could get some people excited about it again. And I can't blame them. It's just like they don't want to play, so that's fine.
Goo Boy says, howdy everyone. What is your champion of breakfast? Pancakes, waffles, French toast, bacon, biscuits. Maybe not listed. Keep up the awesome work. I'm a biscuits and gravy kind of man. If I see biscuits and gravy on the menu and I'm at a breakfast place, which normally doesn't happen, that's what I'll get. And like obviously like 2 eggs on the side. Over easy.
Breakfast. I'm usually not up for breakfast, and whenever I do go for breakfast, it's usually the intention is like breakfast tacos. And if I'm at a Mexican, honestly, I don't go to breakfast unless it's a Mexican place. So I already know what I'm gonna get. It's gonna be chilaquiles. It's gonna be breakfast tacos, bean and cheese tacos, potato and egg. If I do end up going somewhere and like what's my go-to? It's probably like just a basic eggs, pancakes, bacon, you know.
I feel like I've talked about this before. Always the case. Scrambled eggs, hash browns, sausage.
Ooh, scrambled eggs. Ooh, McDonald's breakfast. There you go.
With Cholula. All in the big
okay, I was about to
thing.
ask.
Big old
I was like, do you do
scramble.
ketchup or okay?
Yeah, some Cholula.
Hey,
put that all in there.
I would like to let everyone know Mr. Fruit makes insane cheesy eggs for breakfast, dude.
Really the only thing I can do. Oof. And I didn't know.
Whew. I was like, listen, I'm way too honest. You know, I'm not the type of dude to lie to you. So when I was like, Mr. Fruit, these eggs, fuck. Mr. Fruit just looked at me. He's like, oh, wow. Thanks.
Thanks. I never knew. And then, everyone's like, these are the greatest eggs ever. And then I had to make another batch, and I'm like, well, what did I do?
Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, God.
Yeah, some people didn't want eggs. So well, no, I got to try some. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Draven says, have any of you guys checked out Diablo 4? It looks good and has made some fixes from old Diablo issues. Wondering if any content or streams were on the horizon. Doesn't really appeal to me. I've seen a lot of my friends having fun, but just I don't know.
I wish I could get into ARPGs. It's just so I don't know, man. Diablo does look really good. What I've been watching, it has kind of been like, damn, maybe I should try it. But yeah, ARPGs just never managed to grab me. I mean, I'll probably try it eventually, but like I still have to finish my Tears of the Kingdom playthrough before 16 comes out. Maybe over the summer, I'll give it a shot. But there's just so many games.
Level 62 pulverized druid.
Oh,
we out here.
Whoa!
You know how we do.
I didn't know you were going that hard.
Well, I've been like level 60 in between 60 and 62 for the past like week and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, first rolled a barbarian, got to like level 20. Like no, rolled a druid. Leveling solo. I've only played the game solo. Leveling as a druid solo. I had like this werewolf build. Garbage. Miserable. Terrible. But then I beat the campaign, hit 50. Started making other builds. I had a landslide build for the longest time. And then at level 60, finally just made a pulverized build. I said, screw it. Let's try the level 70 World Tier 4 Capstone Dungeon solo at level 60. Took me like 15 minutes. Sold it. Easiest game alive. So now I'm at the highest world tier. 11 levels under everything. Still killing things. But I'll be honest, I just kind of... I log on and I'm doing the same dungeon over and over. Like, I want to play, I get on, and then in about 10 minutes I've logged off. And then I just...
Okay.
I'm in a weird spot where
So
like...
you kind of hit that lull point.
Whereas like other people are like... Because you can go all the way to 100. People are pushing. What am I pushing for? Also, leveling is so slow. There's been like exploits and like all these like dungeons you can do, which people have done, but they've nerfed them all.
So if you didn't do it before they nerfed it, you're
Yeah,
like
like-
so far behind. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't really know what to do. I sort of get out. I'm just very aimless because like a lot of it too is like, oh, I want to try this build. I need the sacred helmet, but there's no targeted drops. Everything is global, so I could get it from this goblin in this dungeon, or this raid boss, or the world raid boss, or so. Yeah, it just feels like I'm just kind of waffling about. It's fun.
Yeah.
Maybe it'd be more fun if like I was logging on and playing
you
with
had
friends or
friends.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopping on solo and then just sitting there and like log out.
Question here from Chives says, "Hey guys, it's been a minute since I asked a question. I was wondering if you guys had any ideas for a summer job for a college student. I thought I would be able to go back to my old pizza delivery job, but they can't get me hours, and I'm really struggling to find anything else. Applying at a bunch of places. Also, Rob, I know you dabble in Formula One a little bit. Will you watch the 24 Hours in Le Mans this weekend?" To the racing question, I just watch F1 whenever I'm up that early on a Sunday. I've kind of fallen out of love out with it right now because McLaren just stinks. But that race is kind of cool. It's like a 24-hour race, which is interesting. But no, I didn't watch it, but I think it's cool. And with the first question, I always recommend golf courses. I think golf course jobs are great. That's what I did. If you can find if you live in a nice suburban area like I did, just find a really nice golf course. If you don't mind waking up at like 5 a.m. some days. But what's great about that is you clock in at 5 a.m. and you're out by noon, or like 1 o'clock and you still have your whole day ahead of you. That's what I really liked about working at a golf course. Especially like some golf courses, if you work like grounds crew and like maintenance and stuff like that, you'll be out there at like 3 a.m., but you'll be done by 10 a.m. So it all just kind of depends on like what you want like your schedule to look like and stuff like that. But I always recommend a golf course.
I know some friends and stuff when they always did it, it'd be like do car washes. No, I know like some pizza places. That's what my brother did. Like golf course. Some more things with like quicker turnarounds. That's like name of the game is usually hiring kids for summer jobs. You could even go the opposite way, go entrepreneur and just like mow lawns. All else fails.
Hold on.
Um,
If you did say you're out of college, a lot of colleges will you can like work the front desk at like a dorm or something like that.
True.
I know that's a good option too. Because there are a lot of students that still live in the dorms during the summer and stuff, so they need people that, that's what my stepbrother did. Do you have any recommendations, Blue?
Not really. Whenever I had a job. When I was in college, I didn't have a job. Like I was school full time. So yeah, I don't wish I had a good one for you, but
We'll do this last question here from Space. This word is insane. I'm gonna try my hardest here. Don't laugh at me.
you got this. You got
You're
this.
you're
Jesus Christ.
dude. What? How do you say this word?
Isekai.
Oh,
Isekai. What the fuck does that mean?
I love how even fruit is like, yeah.
well, I haven't.
How do you not know what isekai means? Aren't you
I've
literally?
never seen that word
You're
ever.
a weeb.
I
You're a
never have
weeb.
seen that word.
You're a weeb.
It's like half of animes.
How am
So
I a weeb?
isekai is basically you're absolutely weeb. So isekai is basically like when the setting is like you get transported to some world,
Oh,
or a game
okay.
world or something, and it's just you're basically like, oh wow, I'm surrounded by like I'm in
Okay.
this fantasy world now. Whoa, how did this
Oh,
happen?
so like the anime, I leveled up to 99. I
Yep.
saw like some anime title and it was like, I fully managed to level up to 99 or something like that. And I was like, what kind of title is that?
Yeah, there's some bizarre anime ones, but it's a very popular genre. It's essentially like someone from like today's world. They wake up or whatever, and suddenly they're in a different world. And then why are they
Okay.
there? It also just makes for easy storytelling because the character doesn't know anything and all of it's new to them. So you're sort of learning and figuring stuff out as they
It's
go.
almost like Chainsaw Man. Would you say Chainsaw Man is
Definitely not.
okay? Because he's still in the same world, but it's like an entirely different universe, almost like Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of, yeah.
Technically, yeah, I guess if like anytime he's in another universe, technically. It's
That's
just that
technically isekai, yeah.
he's only there temporarily. But like imagine instead at the beginning of Spider-Verse he woke up in an alternate universe of not his normal world,
Okay.
and then the whole story took place there.
I see. Okay, so you're whatever into a fictional world of your choosing, but as yourself, no BS powers. You don't meet your master or something to train you. What world could you make it in to the end of the story?
We talked
Okay,
about
so
this. I'm a goner.
I
you know?
can't even survive in this world, man. Like
I'm a
this
normal person
I'm
and
probably
the
dead, bro.
fucking
I'm probably dead no matter where I go.
I don't have any plot armor or training. Pretty much any past world, I'm a goner. Dysentery is right around the corner.
Yep, I know. Isekai me into Pokemon, I'm beating the shit out of that world. No one is beating me.
True.
Everyone sucks. I am God in that
Yeah.
world. Everyone's like, "What's the turn-based mechanic?" It's like, nah, dude. I know how this shit works. Isekai me into Pokemon, easy.
I would be that guy where, like, in anime, they're sitting there and they're thinking, like, next, I should probably, and then I would be over there, like, Charizard flamethrower, like, in the middle of the thing, like, what are we doing here? Just burn it.
He just hit me with a flamethrower
all right.
and knocked
Now
out
this
4 of
is-
my Pokemon. What else
this
could I
is-
do?
What are super effective
This is gonna
moves?
sound a little crazy. I need you guys to stick with me here.
You gonna Isekai to a kangaroo world and beat the shit out of
No.
kangaroos?
If I was isekai'd into Attack on Titan, okay, but like I'm
Why
in the
would you want
walls,
that?
in the wall ones,
This is
because like no one there has powers. No one in there has powers other than like.
Yeah, but you want to
Titans or
live
whatever.
there?
It's just kind of it's one that I think I could survive if I lived like in the wall where it's like you're just like a little farmer guy, like no one's really bothering you or anything like that.
Yeah, but then you have random Titans
So-
showing up.
Yeah, but I'll let the they're drinking over there, having a good time. They're not going to go through the walls, but everything's going to be fine. They haven't broken in the walls in 100 years. See, maybe I'm in the Attack on Titan world, like in those, like the first like year of it not happening for 100 years. So I'm chilling for 100 years.
The problem with Pokemon, though, is somebody could say there's really no end. I guess
So
the closest the closest we
To
had
be
is
continued?
is Ash, I guess, signing off. So you'd have to go through the 25.
Did you guys end up watching
26.
that final episode?
No, I still haven't. Probably eventually, but
Oh,
like
yeah.
I would just watch it. Be
I
sad.
watched it. I watched it and it hurted in all the right ways. Dude, Can I say spoiler? It's been months. Like, if y'all haven't watched the
I-
final episode, dude, when
Yeah, I
Pidgeot came back, I was like, fucking finally. I've been waiting so long for my boy Pidgeot to come back. The best person on Ash's team.
What does he mean he comes back? Like he just is like, "What's up? I'm back."
I've
Like,
literally been waiting 20 years for Pidgeot to come back because back in the day, Cafe, 25 years, geez, right? Like, Ash leaves Pidgeot in the forest and he's just like, Pidgeot, you have to protect your friends. And Pidgeot's like, and Ash just is like, Ash
Pidgeot.
promises Pidgeot, I'm going to come back for you. 25 years. 20 years.
My boy shows up like, hey, what?
20. It took till the last episode for him to finally be like, oh my God, Pidgeot, you're back. And Pidgeot's like,
Bruh,
yeah, bro, I've been waiting.
like that.
I've seen some
It's
stuff.
like that 2.5 men meme where it's like, I feel like I'm forgetting something, and it's like, if it was really important, would you be forgetting it? And then it's like Pidgeot in the forest just waiting there, sitting. But I'm glad you liked it, Blue. I was kind of curious if you guys have watched it because it has the English dub of that come out yet, or is it still just the Japanese dub or a sub? I guess.
I don't know. I just haven't kept up with it all. But I'm pretty sure.
That'll probably do it here for we hit about the hour and a half mark, which is where we try and end these podcasts. Thank you guys for listening to episode 185 of the podcast. We'll be back next week with some more talking and stuff. Appreciate you guys sticking through with my voice. It's kind of going out every now and then. But yeah, see you guys next week. Peace out.
Deuces.